How you doing this afternoon? Uh, I went up to see the grave and the headstone. It looks nice. When I got back, I had a few notifications for comments on my video this morning, and I went and I looked. And Mr. Swinger, God damn it, you are the one that always raises things that make me think. And I go, yeah, what about this? What about that? It raises questions for things that I've heard over periods of time, and it's like, whatever happened to, But that TV show, Where Are They Now? You know? Well, we all know about Sanford's ex friends, what happened to them. And you mentioned about, the AHRE. I had forgotten about that. And then it reminded me of other things. And I had heard quite a few things during my absence from here for a few months. I'm actually still playing a little catch up. I've only begun to scratch the tip of the iceberg with many things I heard during my absence with the shenanigans. I like that word, shenanigans. I'll say it again, shenanigans. Of all the fucking jokers and fools on here, with Sanford leading the fucking charge, And it made me think HRA. I don't really know a lot about it. I don't. What I have heard is written from a friend, Phil Seriali, shows up on here for a while. We had a long-running communication previously in the past. And he stays up on racing. He was a racer himself. He's gotten out of it a little more these days, but he's very active in keeping up with what's going on. Still goes to races, still goes to events. And even one time for shits and giggles, he went to an event. He went to a bracket race just for shits and giggles. He was all done with his race cars, and he had some damn quick race cars. And he raced his family minivan in bracket. And he walked out of there with something like $1,500 in winnings. There are a lot of events. You can race anything. Don't mean you have a race car. And I do recall last year, this No Show Nationals was very poorly organized, poorly run. What do you expect? Big Wobo was the promoter, And wasn't it that Dallas guy too? And that's when a lot of things started coming back to me. And I have more questions than answers in this video, so fill me in. A little play on words, Phil, like in Phil Serial. Now you can fill me in too. I know quite a bit about the NHRA going back to when I was a kid due to my introduction into a well-known, well-respected NHRA family going back to the very early 60s, the Tasker family. And I'm still, friendly with Bobby to this day. His old man was a great guy. So was my uncle. They were best friends. So I know I followed NHRA quite a bit through the years, through the decades. IHRA, not much until they did something that the NHRA didn't do. They raised the cubic inch limit on the Pro Stockers. I remember them being called mountain motors. They were allowed to run up to 500 cubic inches, so their Pro Stockers were quicker and faster than the Pro Stockers in NHRA. A lot of good racers came out of IHRA, if I'm not mistaken. Eddie Hill, I've mentioned him in the past. I used to like Eddie Hill. Real cool guy. Some called him the Flying Texan with his yellow cars, the Flying Bananas. He started out in nitro drag ball racing, if I'm not mistaken. Then he got into fuel cars in IHRA. He eventually ended up in NHRA. He was a cool guy. I really liked Eddie Hill. In the Pro Stockers, there was one guy. I remember he had a Thunderbird. He had a Thunderbird. And I want to say Roy Hill. I might have the name wrong, but I want to say Roy Hill. He was real big in Pro Stock in IHRA. I don't know where he ended up, but I liked him for the fact that they were a little bit quicker. I never saw many of their races. On TV, you caught a lot of NHRA events, especially back on Wide World of Sports, but you didn't really see much of IHRA unless you bought a magazine. Then you'd see recaps, coverage of events, pictures, write-ups, the cars, the races, who won. And then I used to follow IHRA more in magazines than you could see on TV. There was no YouTube back then, you know. IHRA, I really don't know much about. But due to Phil, I heard a little bit about their history. They were around early as well. Sometime in, I guess, later 60s to the 70s. They were never really up there in the same league as IHRA, nowhere near NHRA. If I'm wrong, correct me. And then in the 80s, sometime in the 80s, there was so much non-involvement and everything. They went bankrupt. They shut down. They stayed dormant for a while. They were bought, restructured, back up again. But they floundered and they went under again. And then they were dormant for a period of time. So from what I understand now, this Dallas guy, and this is where I'll get into people and how Sanford goes through shit, friends like shit to a goose, uses them for what he can get for himself, and then see you later, Charlie, you know? And usually his departures with friends are not on good terms. One way or another, he fucks them over. Some of them come to realize how we just fucking use them, and they want nothing to do with him, you know? This Dallas comes into the picture with that. And then, I started thinking. We mentioned, this no-show nationals, and now it'll be like it was last year, you know? They'll try to hype, what's going on with the AHRA. And the AHRA was behind us, apparently, right? Then I remember, Sanford had his new best buddy in the world, that Dallas guy. They were doing live streams together, sitting there with a big AHRA poster and a trophy on the fucking desk. I guess Sanford was maybe hoping his pickle sniffers would think that he's, heavily involved in the AHRA and he won that trophy. No, he never did. He was a nobody. No event win, no round win, no nothing. He was a nobody that hung around the fucking track, you know what I mean? And that one fuel altered he did have, that was a junk throwaway car. Forget about that. That car's lucky if it ever made two complete passes on it before it fucking broke down. And he probably sold that thing off of fucking scrapper parts too, you know what I mean? After he made a couple of early videos showing off his nitro car with that blown Hemi, on nitro. Whatever happened to that fucking thing? Like all the rest, they got flipped or sold and scrapped. But it gave him content. And he was all buddy with Dallas and Big Wilbur doing their, chat via video chat sessions. And, there was like peas and carrots, like Forrest Gump said. You don't mention these guys. They don't mention him anymore. Then again, I think that might be understandable. They went balls to the wall. I think I've said this before. It's worth repeating. They went balls to the wall promoting Sanford and Sandy with their big grudge race. That was going to be, the big main event attraction at this event, Sanford pulls a no-show. That gave Sandy the excuse to get off the hook. She was still waiting on his $4,500 headers, The guy's bitching one week about, hey, it costs money. I got bills. I got a house to run, I work a job and my money only goes so far, and he goes and blow $4,500 on fucking headers. Come on, give me a fucking break. And if you really think when they had their grudge race, that $5,000 stayed with, stayed in Sanford's hand, you're looking at the fucking Easter Bunny, okay? That was all bullshit, staged for a video. Here you go, I lost, graduations, here's your $5,000. Okay, the camera's off, give me back my $5,000. You ain't getting my money. That was all staged bullshit between two friends. Two co-conspirators in that bullshit scam to get views. You know what I mean? Hopefully help Sandy build his fucking channel off that. It's all about building a channel, man, and make money, It's not a lot of truth in advertising, as it's called. It's been any talk of a rematch between the two of them? About Sanford with his electric go-kart and Dr. Doolittle there. They're going to have a fucking $5,000 showdown race with the electric go-kart. It's another fucking project, right? Yeah. Got him clicks, got him views. Made a few bucks on that video, and now bye-bye electric go-kart. That's Sanford's track record. He's as predictable as fucking rain when a dark cloud rolls in off the fucking ocean. Yeah, you know what I mean? No more mention of Dallas anymore. No-show nationals. I heard he found a way to get his ass off the hook with the no-show. I got the hiccups. No-show nationals. Charger wasn't ready. Oh, man, last minute. I was ready. He's always ready to go. Like, he's always ready to go back to the track. Oh, shit, the tracks are closed now for the winter. You know what I mean? Like they say, proper planning and preparation is a major key to having any success. The only thing he properly plans and prepares for is how to get his ass off a fucking hook with something due to time constraints, track closures, cars not ready. Gee, you had fucking months and months and months to do these things. You didn't fucking do it. You just ran your mouth yakking. Then all of a sudden, gee, I feel I really want to go out. It ain't my fault. It is your fault. You're full of shit. Sanford, you are so full of shit. It's fucking pathetic. Maybe I should go back to calling you Dr. Pamper like I did at one time. You should strap a fucking diaper on your chin to catch all the bullshit that comes out of your mouth every fucking time you open it. Unbelievable. So he got his ass off the power to it. That guy was going to come down from Canada. I forget what the guy's name is. To take it on the power tour for you. But that didn't happen. And I do remember hearing he was all buddy-buddy with that guy. They were making joint videos and doing like little bantering comedy routine. Something about a leg from a mannequin at one time. Somebody stole a leg. Stupid fucking shit. Just to get attention for both of them. And now suddenly you don't mention this guy. Hey, this guy, don't mention him anymore. I have a feeling they're not buddies anymore either. He used him for what he could get. The way he used this Dallas guy for what he could get. But the AHRA as a whole, when I look back on this no-show nationals, because that was Mr. Swinger. I wish I knew your name so I could stop calling you Mr. Swinger and say, hey, Fred, whatever the fuck your name is, tell me your name, okay? I won't tell anybody, don't worry. We're all friends here on my channel. I'll keep it a secret. He mentioned AHRA again. From what I recall, last year, the videos I did see from a few different people, it was like a fucking ghost town there. It had no attraction to anybody that really wanted. If anybody showed up, there was people that lived like within a 5-mile fucking range of the, hey, what are you doing this afternoon? I don't know. Want to go down to the cockfights behind Elmo's barn? Yeah, I seen it last week. You seen a few dead chickens? Seen them all. Hey, they're having a race a few miles down the road. Yeah, okay, let's go watch. We'll mosey on down there. It was nothing. If it hadn't been for the races that did show, if you want to call them races, like I said, you could count them on less than 2 hands. Real race cars that were worth watching go down a track. And I saw a few that were nice cars. One that stood out was a 68 or 69 Roadrunner. Something Boys, Poor Boys Garage or something, a yellow Roadrunner. It was a nice fucking car and it ran quick. And I saw a few others. For the most part, it was fucking junk. Minivans, stock F-150, pickup trucks, whatever somebody fucking drove in with. Okay, kids, get out of the back seat. Daddy's going to go race a Toyota Corolla. I want to be a big-time badass drag racer, too. Okay, go watch in the stands. Go watch Daddy race. You know what I mean? Daddy, don't break the car. We have to get home in that. Mommy has to go grocery shopping tomorrow in it. Don't worry. Daddy's a good drag racer. Daddy knows what he's doing. The whole thing was a fucking shit show joke. And like I said, the whole thing behind that was a YouTube race. Had to have 500 subs. And that was the ulterior motive behind this, too, to get people up to fight. They were running to each other's channels, subs. That's how I got those 700 fucking subs. I don't have shit for subs. I don't give a fuck about it. I think I had like 60, and then like within 2 days, I had like 720. You want to know why? That was all the fucking pickle sniffers and Big Wilbur and the rest of us. Pot-bellied, inbred, clan. They wanted me to go race my fucking Z06 out there. I said, I'm going to travel halfway across the fucking country, burn my gas, waste my time, to keep him and the rest of his pot-bellied, inbred, fucking hillbilly friends out there, make them happy? Fuck you, I got better things to do with my time. If I want to race, I got New England Drag Me an hour and 20 minutes away from me. The fuck would I want to go out there for? To make them happy? You know what I mean? But they tried to do that to blackmail me. Oh, see, Cabral has the subs. He's fucking chicken. Hey, I'm not the one that backed out. Sanford backed out. Sandy backed out. And you're calling me, they called me fucking chicken. This is how fucked up they are in the head. I used to say they had 3 functioning brain cells. I think I gave them too much fucking credit. They may have had 1. But that's their behavior. They'll do anything to defend their fucking Sanford. You know what I mean? But then now, speaking of Big Wilbur, him and Sanford still talking? Are they still buddy-buddy? I wondered about that. From what I've heard about this AHRA that Phil told me, it's going back a couple of years unless things change. Like I said, their history is not very good as an organization. More failure than success. And right now they're floundering again. And he said, Brian, basically what it is now, it's in name only. Dallas is just trying to make fucking money. Selling things, HRA t-shirts, stickers. You know, like Sanford sells his stickers. You know, I guess that's so pickle sniffers can take their fucking four-door junk, put a Sanford sticker on the window. So when they pull up alongside, you know, God, it's got a nice Mustang GT or even a Challenger Demon or something nice, you know. And they rev it up, you know, with their headers and thrush mufflers all jacked up in their four-door shitbox Mopar. The guy looks and starts to laugh and, oh, holy shit, no, I'm not going to race him. Why not? Look at his window. He's got a Sanford sticker on there. That car is probably built under the tutelage, guidance, wisdom, and knowledge of Uncle Sanford. That car probably runs a 10. I'm not racing that. Yeah, I know it looks like an old four-door shitbox. It's all rusty and rotted. That thing's probably a fucking beast. It's a real sweeper. Speaking of sweepers, I'll get into sweepers tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll get into sweepers. I'm not going to race that guy. Just basically to sell products. From what he told me, like I said, unless things have changed in the last couple of years, tell me. He said AHRA doesn't really do anything. You know, if you're a member, I don't know if you have to pay monthly membership dues or annual in order to get a monthly newsletter of things that nothing's really going on. Any events they are hosting, he said they only had like 3 tracks that they're working with. And one of them was in Hawaii. You better hope that track in Hawaii isn't the one that fucking burnt down with that fucking island. You know what I mean? Now they're down to 2 fucking tracks. The AHRA is pretty much a name only. And it's just a money-making organization for someone that's trying to milk money off the fucking name that pretty much means shit. It's not a very well-sanctioned, well-organized, well-respected racing league. You know? Never was anywhere near the NHRA, never will be. And it's on its last fucking breath, its last legs again. Dallas, I guess. I don't know if he's, somebody told me he's the president, owner, CEO, whatever. He's the head honcho in charge of it now. And that shows you his organizational skills aren't that fucking great either. I don't know how many brain cells he's functioning with to put someone like Big Wilbur in charge of fucking promotion and organizing this fucking event. It was a fucking shit show. The few videos I did see, the fucking spectators were non-existent. If it wasn't for the guys there racing, nobody would have been at that fucking track. Bleachers were fucking empty. It made money. It covered the cost. Yeah, fucking racers' entrance fee covered the fucking cost. Outside of that, it didn't make a fucking profit. Nobody cared to want to go out of their way. New England Nationals here, up in Epping, New Hampshire. I didn't go to the last one. I went to one the year before COVID. I went. And I just went to hang out with Bobby in the pits for the day. And he got to the semifinals, unfortunately, and he lost to Robert Hight again. That fucking Robert Hight always has his fucking number for some reason. It was just to hang out with Bobby for the day. I hadn't seen him in a long time. And I had to wear the earmuffs and shit and just hang out in his pit and be able to wander up to the track with the rest of his crew and watch the races up close. And that's the only reason I really went. You know, the place was fucking packed. People came from all over New England. They came from as far as Ohio, Nebraska to see the New England Nationals the way they do at Indy, the way they did at Firebird Raceway when I was in Arizona. You know, the way they did it, you know, the Gator Nationals, the big NHRA events. People come from all over. People will fly from across the country to go watch these events. The stands are fucking packed. They make money because they're seeing good quality race cars. The races are very well organized. It's worth going out of your way to see. It's worth paying good money for a ticket to get in to see. It's worth it. The AHRA is a fucking joke. Like I said, a handful of decent cars. The rest was shit that people just drove there. A lot of fucking four-door junk, you know. And then they put on shit show spectacles like, you know, a donut contest with my ex-boyfriend there, like he's steering a fucking sailing ship. And I go, oh, well, he's got a locker rear end. It ain't supposed to spin both wheels when you turn it. Cut the shit. He can't spin both wheels in a straight fucking line. If that's a locker rear end, it's still fucking busted. No matter how you slice it, it's still fucked up. You know what I mean? And then his burnout, you know, like did I mention, you know, he can't wait to get back into the burnout competition. What, turn one wheel again? I haven't heard Miss Titty Nipples was there on his Coleman mini bike doing a burnout on a Coleman. Really? Seriously? Somebody pulled that shit in New England Dragway. They'd get fucking laughed out of there. What are you doing? Get that fucking mini bike out of here. The whole thing was this fucking shit show. It was a YouTube event. to get people to 500 subs, to get views on videos, because that's the only place anyone was going to see these fucking races, because nobody wanted to go out of their way to fucking watch in person. The whole thing was one big fucking joke, and is that what it's going to be this year again? You tell me, you tell me. Anyway, that's about it. But, you know, something crossed my mind when I mentioned sweepers. Yeah, I've seen a lot of changes over the years in a lot of areas in life, and I'll save that for tomorrow morning. So I will see you then.